Good morning, your humble ELA catalyst here this morning. So I wanted to quickly review the DRA folder and the contents and the layout. So front cover shows the assessment date, grade, the test level, the test score, which can be calculated, or you can get it off the OpenAdmin scores. And then the DRA stage shows on the test booklet. Okay, on the back is the chart that shows how the student is progressing. Each year the student is assessed twice, and sometimes they go into a reading intervention, which can also be recorded. So the general progression usually is an upward line like this. So in any case that they go back up and drop back down, that indicates that they have had some reading intervention support, but they kind of fall back into that same progression. Sometimes the score will fall and then they will come back on. So the major factor for a decrease is usually attendance and lack of practice with reading. And the best positive indicator where students increase and then have a higher increase all the way through is reading at home. No surprise there. So inside we have two separate genres to record. So on one side is fiction and on the other side is nonfiction. Okay, and then these scores they're on the front of the booklet. So these scores here, they are the same scores that get recorded here. So that is that's the main layout of the DRA folder, and inside the booklet itself should have the survey in the back, and sometimes for the lower level assessments, the survey is a 3-question part, which is a part of the test booklet. But for the upper level tests, which most of them are white booklets, the survey is separate. So the survey should always go in the back, please and thank you. And then please fill in their name and the date and who the assessor was. So if it was a different person, then they would put their name and then and then the teacher's name and grade. The year is always important. Some added notes are always helpful so that the teacher next year, the following year, can kind of read some of their reading behaviors and what to do with the student. The most important thing to remember about filling out the assessment is to do the oral section right away after the student does the oral reading fluency. Fill this in right away. And the prediction is done after the student reads a portion of the book, which is graded here. This is the survey, so this informs us about their reading preferences and about if they're able to identify their own reading weaknesses and strengths. And then this part is about oral reading fluency, accuracy, expression, phrasing, and rate. And then the bottom part is comprehension, which is their ability to predict, their ability to summarize. And then you have literal comprehension, which are questions that can be answered by the text. And then interpretation, which are highlighting main key points, key ideas, and being able to connect to text in that way. And then reflection has to do with the author's purpose. So the reflection question, the interpretation question is something like, what do you think the character learns? What happens in a story to make you think that? So that's an interpretation question, is thinking beyond text. And then the reflection question is, what do you think is the most important event in this story, and tell why? So That would be the reflection. Metacognitive is gives the student a list of the strategies that they think they've used. So I thought about similar experiences, I asked myself questions, I pictured what was happening, I thought about the reasons why things happened, I understood the character's feelings. Okay? And then they have to show specific parts as they were reading where they utilized those strategies. So that's the whole test, the whole assessment. It is important to remember that the survey can be done separately at a different time. It doesn't have to be done at the time of the assessment. And also that students can be given 2 to 3 separate time slots to complete the test. So the summary can be a bit lengthy, so they'll need maybe a separate time to finish the summary, and then the rest of it after that. Most of the test booklets allow the student to use the text. Just remind the students what plagiarism is, that they cannot copy directly from the text, but they can paraphrase. So they can go back and reread to help them answer the question. So that would be a great strategy to start the year off with, is finding key ideas and key elements in the story to help them comprehend. Any other questions? And email me, and I'll include my email. Thank you.